Video is to help you with the first 3 lessons of the work that you've been set for this term. You should be using this booklet, which has been set on your doddle each time you've had a lesson, and so far you should have completed the comprehension exercise where you're reading this information and answering these questions at the top here, and then listening to this piece. Here's the link, and again answering the questions. That work should have been emailed to your teacher on a Word document. The second lesson was to start your practical work, and that's where most people seem to have hit some trouble. So this video is going to take you through the beginning of what you need to do for this. So over here I've got the BandLab. This is set up for 9x, but it's the same work for 9y, so it's just as appropriate. As long as you've made your BandLab account and you're on the correct site, which is edu.bandlab.com, you should be able to get to this page, which is your classroom page. In the mood is the assignment that we're doing, and to get into it you click Start Assignment and then click Teacher's Assignment, and that takes you to this page, which is where you find your work. The instructions in a simple form are here. If you want to get rid of those, you press down here on this green button which says Assignment Brief, and that just means you can click it away, but if you want to look at it again to refer to it, you can bring it back. You've also got a notes page here, so if you want to write anything to me or you want to make some notes to remind yourself, you can put those there as well. So going back to the document, we've clicked Start Assignment, we've clicked Teacher's Assignment. It says now we're going to be creating the drum rhythm for your piece. So it says click drum machine. Here is our drum machine. Okay, now when it says click that, in order to see the full thing, this is one of the bits that's missing off these instructions, and I think it's confusing some people, is you either need to click the little icon here, and that brings up where you can input the rhythm, or if I close that you can get exactly the same thing by pressing down here on the instrument button. So that's either on the icon or the instrument button. There it is. Now what it says on here, it says before you can create your own patterns, you will need to delete the presets. The best way to do this is to right click and choose Clear Pattern. So here I am, I'm going to right click and I choose Clear Pattern, and that will disappear. Up here I also need to delete this because that is not what I want. Okay, I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger so that we can see the patterns here. So here I've got 8 different patterns, A, B, C. They're all looking exactly the same at the moment because they're completely blank. I'm going back to A. Here is my play button, so once I've put something in, I can then play it. So it tells me what drum kit I need to choose over here. It says we are creating a blues drum beat. So under drum machine, click drum kits. That's here, drum kits, and then choose blues, which is up there. And now I have a blues drum kit. It says normally blues would use a swing rhythm, but because this is your first task, we will keep it simple. So we're not using a swing rhythm, we're using a straight rhythm, which means all the beats will go exactly the same length. And then it says create pattern A. So what it's asking you to do is just to either create your own rhythm, but for most of you, just copy the one that I have created here. Okay, so if we look at it, it's got a bass drum on the first beat, it's got a snare drum on the second beat, and it's got this closed hi-hat every 2 boxes. If I just check it, I can see that it's the same over here. There we go. And I've put that in. I can check that it sounds okay by listening to it, and that's why this one's got a white bar down it. It's because I've been playing it. Okay. It says when you are happy with it, click Add A, and then loop it to last for 3 bars. So I'm going to click Add A, and it appears there, look. And the loop button is exactly like it is in GarageBand and Logic, and I can click that, and I can pull it out so it happens 3 times. I only want it 3 times. Quite a lot of people have put this 4 times because they've added 3 on. Okay, and the reason for this is we're working in 4-bar sections, and our other rhythm is going to happen here in the 4th bar. So it says next, create pattern B. Okay, this should be a fill, and it should be more interesting than A. When you're happy with it, move the cursor to bar 4 and click Add B. So we'll do that now on BandLab. So we're moving to pattern B. I'm going to start by inputting exactly the same rhythm that I put in the first one. Okay, because then I know that it's not going to sound ridiculous. It's going to sound similar, but just a little bit different. Okay, so I might put some extra bass drum towards the end there. Maybe not those ones, maybe those ones. Okay, now have a listen. It's not a massive change, okay, but quite often the toms, which are these ones, are used. I might change this one as well. Or not. There we go, we'll leave it how it is. Okay, and instead of the snare in the second half, I'm going to experiment with some toms. Okay, so not that one, that one. What is G? Yeah, I want that one. Okay, so I've got two different tom sounds there, high tom and a low tom. Okay, and I'm going to take these cymbals out. Okay, so how does this sound? I think my drummer is probably capable of a little bit more, so how about having 4 of each of these? Okay, and that could work, couldn't it? Okay, we could put an extra snare in there just to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so with all of these, if you look, you can see that quite often I'm not using all 4 boxes, only when I want something that's particularly active. A lot of the time it's having it, and that's because 1 in a box like this, that's a crotchet. 2 in a box, those are quavers. 4 in a section, that's semi-quavers. So anyway, I'm happy with this now, and I'm going to add B. Now at the moment my cursor look is at bar 1, so if I press add B now, it'll put it on top of my A and it'll get quite confused. So I need to drag my cursor across to bar 4, and then I'm going to click add B. Okay? And then it says, now copy this 4-bar pattern 3 times to give you 12 bars of music. So I can, again, move my cursor along, all of that, copy it and paste it, and then move my cursor along, copy and paste. Now I can use my keyboard shortcuts, which are Control C for copy and Control V for paste, or if I'm on a Mac, Command C and Command V, or I can use my right click and copy and paste it that way, or I can go back here, so I've still got my pattern A there and my pattern B here, and I can input that into my piece. That is all the work for lesson 1. That is what your piece should look like by the time you get to the end of lesson 1. Lesson 2 I'm going to put on a separate video just so you can see exactly where you're getting to.